Hey everyone, Luke here. Welcome to another episode of the Capital City Bourbon Show. We're here at the one and only Market Square Liquor in beautiful Tallahassee, Florida. I'm thrilled to have my good friends and Market Square Barrel Team members here with me today. Got Christian on the far end, my man Alex here, and one and only high horse himself, John Hill. I'm pretty excited about this episode today because we're going to be doing a battle between two amazing 18-year-old rye whiskeys. It's going to be the WhistlePig 18-year-old and the Lock, Stock, and Barrel 18-year-old. So we're going to start today with the WhistlePig 18. This is a 2019 release from WhistlePig, their oldest expression to date. This was actually distilled at the Hiram Walker Distillery in Ontario, Canada. Only 10,000 bottles were produced of it. It's a mash bill of 79% rye, 15% malted rye, and 5% malted barley. Really interesting that they have the malted rye in there. That's not really a common practice anymore. It used to be before modern fermentation catalysts were invented. They used to malt rye regularly to get those starches more readily available. And that's why WhistlePig went with this particular mash bill. Comes in at 92 proof. And obviously, you know, it's WhistlePig, so they always do beautiful presentation. You can see the WhistlePig decanter here with the gold lettering, the hand-pressed glass stopper. Just beautiful as always. And, you know, we'll see what the whiskey's like in the bottle.
We'll see how it holds up.
All right, cheers, gents.
Cheers.
Getting a little ethanol there on the nose initially, but not much.
Typical for an 18 rye.
Well, that's news to me about the malted rye, and that explains a little bit of the more sweetness you get out of a WhistlePig rye. 100% rye,
Right.
given what, 5% barley.
Yeah.
But 100% rye, essentially it should be a rye tasting rye. This one has a sweetness. It has to be the malted rye.
Yeah, a lot of sweetness on the nose, really pleasant, warm.
For sure.
It's kind of like
Just get a caramel corn.
Yeah. You know, for me, it's more like an earthier rye. Not, you know, some ryes, you know, you kind of get that almost like pickling brine or even some dill notes.
Right.
I'm not getting that. I'm wondering if that's the malted rye as well. It's giving that sweet earthy note.
You really get that malt from the nose on the top of the taste as well. The rye definitely pops out at the end towards the back of the palate.
Yeah.
Well, you know, your fellow Willie Pratt, who was the master distiller at Michter's and the guy that brought that brand back. I was just sitting talking to him one day. His Michter's were sweeter and tastier than most other bourbons that you had. He ran about 14% or so malt in there, and he said that's where the sweetness comes from.
Really?
Yeah, and so while most people are thinking all the sweetness comes from the barrel, I think that's where that sweetness is coming from right here. That's out of that. You taste in a rye, you're looking for that rye bread taste.
Yeah.
That you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I get here. And you know, so the finish was surprising for me because I'm personally getting a lot of floral notes, maybe a little lemon zest, kind of on the back end. Nice, long, warm finish, but definitely some fruit and floral notes jumping out to me that I really wasn't expecting.
Luke, what did you say the proof was on this one?
This one is 92 proof.
I'm getting almost that menthol eucalyptus thing going on towards the backside.
I kind of
where
taste
my
some
mouth
menthol.
is almost getting sort of that menthol feeling, which can be common on some of the ryes.
I'll tell you
But
what.
at 92 proof, it's really shining through.
Yeah. It's a lot easier to drink than the 10-year rye that they have as well. I mean, that's got a bunch of flavors. It's pretty hot and spicy, but for an 18-year, I mean, this is really soft on the palate.
Finding an 18-year-old anything nowadays is just outrageous.
Let alone the rye.
Both of these we're tasting right now. Think about the 18-year-olds we were drinking 10 years ago. And now people are paying $1,500, $2,000 a bottle to find them.
I don't think I was drinking anything 10 years ago. I was in my early 20s, you know. I don't think I could afford it back then.
But to even have a couple of 18-year-olds available on the shelf today is just a pretty amazing thing. Not name Scotch.
Sure. Yeah, and I forgot to mention, I think this, Christian, correct me if I'm wrong, the MSRP on this is $3.99 or in
Correct.
that high $300 to $400 range,
Correct.
which is not cheap. But you think about a lot of the 18-year products you're seeing, even some of the Elijah Craig 18 years, I've seen those
Right.
bottles easily going for that. So
It's pretty par for the course right now.
Yeah.
Going for what?
$3.99.
Wow.
And it's a pretty nice presentation with the
It's excellent.
with the bottle and the crystal topper.
That's a good investment.
Absolutely.
yeah, I think this is wonderful rye. I mean, it's not just a presentation piece. It's a great drinking rye. I mean, this is lots to talk about. Obviously, we can't sit here and talk all day because Instagram won't let us upload videos that long. Apparently,
I know,
we learned that last time. But this is a really flavorful, fun rye. I mean, easy, like most WhistlePig, you could spend a lot of time with it. And
For sure,
pick it
the
apart.
concentration is just excellent on this. There's a lot going on, and it continues to open up the more that I revisit the nose. As that ethanol blows off, everything keeps opening up and showing up a few more of the layers that we keep
Christian,
looking for.
you're impressive, big buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
I think you nailed it on your first impression too with the buttercorn. You really do get that in there.
Yeah,
And there's no corn in it.
yeah, that's a really nice pour.
You know, one drop of water really kind of brings out some of the leathery notes on the nose, but it takes away all the bite on the drink. Makes it completely sweet. You get the nice malt taste, the nice rye taste, but it just goes down.
What's the proof on the 10-year-old?
100, right?
Exactly at 100, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Wow.
Luke is the 10-year-old, the barrel pig here in the bar. Is that some malted rye in that?
I don't think so. I think this is WhistlePig's first use of malted rye.
Yeah, they're starting to work towards that and bring back some old traditions of some of their distilling processes, including malting the rye, where you normally would have that malted barley that would give the enzymes to kind of kickstart that fermentation process.
Yeah.
Now they're going back to the malted rye,
Interesting.
which is a little bit more work because it doesn't have as much simple sugars, so you have to kind of go through those complex carbohydrates and kickstart that a little bit. But they want to get that process back going.
Do we know what malted is? So you've got the rye green. What happens when it's malted?
So basically, they take water and let it start to almost kind of, what is the term?
Germinate?
Germinate, yeah.
It
So
begins
that
to
way,
sprout.
you're basically breaking these complex carbohydrates down into simple carbohydrates, so simple sugars. So that way, the yeast can process that a lot more easily. And what yeast does is eat the sugars, turn it into ethyl alcohol, and lets off CO2, which gives all the fun stuff that we like to drink.
It's spread out, even to the point of sprouting.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's malted
Correct.
rye or
Yes, sir.
whatever.
I
barley.
had no idea.
Yeah,
Learn
man.
something new every day.
That's
Chemistry,
the-
baby.
That's the reason we're here, Alex.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
This is an educational series. We all know that.
I
Yeah.
thought we were just hanging out drinking
No.
some bourbon.
We're here to learn.
That's great. It's a delicious rye.
It is.
Yeah.
That is very, very solid, and I definitely appreciate the sweetness, but also the other. It's very complex for what it's got
Absolutely.
going on in there, for sure.
You know,
Yeah.
WhistlePig, they always are putting out great products, so
Yeah.
I expected nothing less. But yeah, that's a really nice rye. So while y'all are finishing up, I'll talk about our next one, and we'll do our comparison here. So this is Lock, Stock, and Barrel 18. This is an 18-year-old rye from R.J. Cooper and Sons out of Philadelphia. This was sourced from the Alberta distillery in Canada. It's described as a robust cut, double distilled, 100% rye, aged 18 years in a very cold climate. Each barrel was hand selected. It's bottled at 109 proof. So this one's got a little heat on it compared to the WhistlePig.
So this is a barrel selection.
No,
What's in the
no,
barrel?
they just selected barrels by hand to combine for this blend.
Okay.
Whew, wow, the nose on that is just beautiful.
Caramel,
Yep, caramel.
It definitely,
big time
Right.
toffee, all those good caramelized wood flavors that I'm looking for.
Yeah. Side by side, if it was blind, I would think this was the older rye. It just has that, what I like to call it, big boy boldness to it. And and it's got some sugar in it as well.
Yeah, I'm getting almost like a caramelized banana.
Yeah, banana
So
Foster
maybe
kind
some
of thing.
roasted walnut. So when I first tasted this, is not my first tasting of this, admittedly, but when I first tasted this, first thing that came to mind was like warm walnut banana bread.
Oh yeah,
My mom makes that all the time, and that's exactly what this nose reminded me of.
it's got the heat on the palate, but like it kind of dissipates very quickly, so you get straight to those sugars.
You know, it's a soft heat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Tapers off.
in and it's out.
You know, we're not talking red hots here. We're really talking marshmallow heat.
Exactly.
Toasted marshmallow. Could we buy that?
Ooh, yeah.
Is this a malted rye as well?
No, this is just 100% rye.
Wow.
No malting.
So it seems the
Right.
age really does wonders for it, because most of the 10-year ryes you're tasting are pretty hot, pretty spicy. It seems the tannins seem to drop off like
Right.
Well,
with
and you
this.
tend to taste more of the rye grain
Yeah.
in those, and it's not as prevalent in either one of these.
Yeah.
And this one, I know we're tasting that heavy charred barrel, and I don't know what double stilling's all about, but boy, it sure gave it some body that you don't typically find in
Right.
any bottle of rye that you want to pick up. This is an amazing
Yeah,
tasting
I mean, that
rye.
is-
Yeah.
it's something special for sure. I mean, I just
How did you come about this one?
I was traveling for work down in Tampa and stopped into a store. It's something I'd heard about. I've heard some people say, hey, this is some of the best rye we've tasted.
Right.
And frankly, when I see 100% rye with an 18-year age statement, short of it being about $1,000, I'm probably going to pick it up because it's an 18-year-old 100% rye.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Your chances are it's going to pan out for you.
I think we only have 2 back here.
Well, the surprising thing to me about Ryes is one that they're even making it on the scene the way they're making it today. And here we are featuring a couple of Ryes.
Yeah.
First barrel I decided to buy was a rye. You could have bet me 1,000 to 1 that would happen because I'm a bourbon dude.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But these Ryes are really making it, and they were the first ones on the scene in this country. You know, when they came over from England, George Washington was distilling rye at Mount Vernon, and it wasn't until a little bit later when they became familiar with that Indian corn that we started getting corn, and then somebody came up with a brilliant idea of mixing the two of them, and we have some of those delicious bourbons and blends that we have today. But it's amazing that this rye has come so far from the earlier ryes, in my opinion.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I have to second Luke on this one. As soon as that ethanol burns off and the burn's gone, I'm getting bananas Foster all
Yeah,
day.
it's
You
there.
have a little bit of that ethanol, but that sweet caramelized sugar. You have the banana flavor, that tropical note that I'm looking for, and not necessarily rye, but like it's hitting everything that I like about drinking really good whiskey right now.
What's the malt percentage on this one?
No malt.
It's 100%
100%
rye.
rye.
That's straight rye, man.
Wow.
18
And
years.
typically that
I'm just
that
sitting
banana
here tasting
flavor
bananas.
comes from malted barley.
Right.
I mean, that's typically where it comes
Yeah.
from. So
You
I
see
don't
it in
know how they
scotches
pull
all
that
the
out of
time.
rye.
Yeah, this is a tough decision. I mean, these are both wonderful. Very different though, in my opinion.
For sure.
Obviously the WhistlePig with the malted rye and the barley, different mash bill, but I wouldn't. They're just so different. It's hard to make a decision. Let y'all have one more drink and we'll have to see what the results are. 'Cause,
Man, I'm taking banana bread all day. This
Well,
thing
and
is
here
just-
again is the distillery. Where was the WhistlePig made? In Ontario.
Hiram Walker,
And this is made in
Alberta.
Alberta. So you've got 2 different distilleries.
Yeah.
One of them distilling it twice. And if you take that rye and put it in a barrel, well, the WhistlePig's aged eventually in Vermont
Yeah.
in a 1-story warehouse.
And this is
who
in
knows?
Canada. I think
Yeah.
that was aged 18 years in that cold Canadian climate.
So yeah, man, there's a difference.
Yeah.
So good.
Delightful difference.
I'm kind of leaning towards the WhistlePig because it's a little bit sweeter.
That lock and stock is, for
Gotcha.
some reason, that banana nut bread is just sitting right where I want it. And it's dessert and it's delicious. And I want some tonight after I get done with dinner. So that's where I'm going.
Alex,
your house.
what about you?
Just reach in your pocket, buddy.
Yeah, that's
I think I'm gonna have to go with the WhistlePig 18 on this one. It's got a nice. I mean, I think I'm becoming a fan of the malted Ryes. I like that sweetness, that burnt caramel taste, and light on the grain on the back. I think I would have to go with the WhistlePig for sure. It fits my taste profile.
John, what about you?
I don't think I'd pick one over the other. I'd like to
Oh,
both.
he's gonna be
Come
that
on,
guy.
no.
High horse
know.
with the
No,
mutual. You
I-
can't be Switzerland here,
Well,
man.
it kind of depends on your mood, but this just in terms of the big boy taste that it has, I love it. It is
Sure.
delicious, and it's almost like a dessert rye for
Yeah.
me. And this guy is when I want to pull into the bar and have a nice drink of rye. I'm going to
Yeah.
do that WhistlePig 18. I think, excuse me for shaking the boat there, boys.
That's all right.
But I think they're both outstanding on their own merits, and I'll take both. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Well, as much as I am a WhistlePig guy, I'm gonna have to go Lock, Stock, and Barrel. That was so impressive to me. I mean, just delivered on so many levels, and it's hard for me to say that because I absolutely love WhistlePig and everything they're doing, but the Lock, Stock, and Barrel just had it all for me. And
I'm with you.
I mean, I think it's safe to say you're not going to go wrong either way
oh, absolutely.
on these bottles, but
No doubt.
I can't believe we're finding Ryes that we're singing the praises.
yeah, I mean, a
Yeah.
rye that's got, once this opened up a little bit, it had like a butterscotch taste,
Yeah.
and I love candy.
It's my
So.
first introduction to a 95% or 100% rye was Bullet.
Really?
When they came out with that rye, there's just no comparison. There's no
Oh
comparison.
yeah, apples and oranges.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
well,
And it's age. 18
yeah,
years.
18
does
years.
wonders things.
Yeah, it does. It's amazing what happens in that barrel.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm telling you.
You guys will give it to me that age counts,
Yeah,
right?
well, that's
Yeah.
why do you think you're here? I'm just kidding with you, John. I would never say that. All right, well, that's quite a battle. I think we have a winner, but like John and Alex said, you can't go wrong. These are both amazing, and if you see them both, they're worth adding to the collection. And
Absolutely.
all right, well, I think that'll do it. Thanks for joining us again, and I just want to say thank you to everyone for your patience. We're not tech experts here. We're all learning as we're going. We're trying to get these videos to look and sound as best as we can, but it's going to be a little bit of a process. But hang with us. We're going to keep doing great reviews and battles and all kinds of fun stuff here at the lounge at Market Square. So stay with us, and thanks for joining us. Of course, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.